Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Lady Vasori. Now listen, if you've been on social media lately, I know y'all have seen all the talk about Peaches McIntyre and her husband. And I know y'all been hearing a lot of talk about Brene, that Tim situation, Akira, all of that. Whew. Imagine. I watch it just like everybody else. But I'm not here to retell their business. Y'all got to go and watch that for yourself. Tonight, I'm telling mine. It just all made sense. I have never really gotten deep into the reasons why I am who I am because of a broken relationship that I had. It built me. But I'm here to tell my story. This is the story of, or parts of the story of my first marriage. It all came to pass when I started watching that rabbit hole that they are going down with the Brene and Tim situation. Akira, and I was Akira. I totally understand her pain. I am in the state of North Carolina as well. And back in the day, I wanted to do a case for alienation of affection for the mistress that damaged my marriage as well. But I never dug into it, and I am so happy that she did. We're going to go down the rabbit hole in my life. It's a little deep. It's going to be a little longer than usual, but we're going to talk about it, how the mistress stepped in, how that helper came to destroy, how it all went down, the lies, the calls, the spiritual hints that I got, the pain, and the lessons that followed, because, baby, it connects right to what y'all see playing out online right now. When betrayal shows up dressed like a sisterhood. When friends cross lines and call it love. So grab a seat. Settle in, y'all. This ain't a short story. It's raw. It's real. And it's the truth to what happens when spirit lets the mask fall off. When you're talking about accountability, healing, and how I came out of it stronger. How I came out of it wiser and no longer naive about who I let close to me. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Hello, riders. Hello, how are you? And welcome to my channel. This is Lady Vasori, and let's get ready for the ride. Now, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Hey y'all, if you've been online lately, you already know the stories about Peaches McIntyre and her husband, Brene and Tim, Akira, the lovely young lady that just reminds me of myself. Everybody talking about betrayal and exposure, right? And I've been watching it too. I've been watching it all play out. But let me tell you something. I've lived my own version of that. Tonight ain't gossip about nobody else's business. It's truths about mine. This is my story. How I loved a man who didn't love me the same way back. How betrayal walked right into my home and I let it in and smiled in my face. And how spirit had to drag me out of what my heart kept trying to fix. Y'all, before the chaos, I looked at it like love. It was love. I was young. I was loyal. I was doing what I was taught. You pray through it, fight for it, and hold your home together no matter what. Yeah, that old mindset. He took me through the ringer, y'all. I met my first husband working at Pizza Hut, right? I had just started, and I remember him coming in with a young lady, and they were eating, they ordered, and he paid the bill. They went outside. He came back in and got my number. Now, you would say, who was that? Well, when he was with the young lady, it didn't seem like they was in a relationship at all. They was just eating. No kissing, no I was their waitress, or I brought their pizza out. So I was really like looking, and I couldn't tell, but I didn't ask either. So I thought she was probably a cousin or a friend, but that's another story, whole totally different young lady. I got to talk about that one too, because it was multiple. We started vibing, me and the ex. We laughed, we talked for hours, y'all, and before I knew it, we were living together, planning a future. You hear me? He was a big street pharmacist in my area, and I wasn't that type of girl. I was a country girl. I didn't know the ins and outs of that type of life. I knew it was good. I knew he was good to me. I knew that I got anything that I wanted. And I wasn't materialistic. He paid the bills. You understand what I'm saying? I was never, ever a materialistic Libra. I just love money. I love to be able to be happy, to afford whatever I want. That's who I am. So temptation was everywhere. What made it hurt more was who she was. That heifer was not a stranger. Her mama knew my family. Her mama played cards with my mama. She went to school, the mistress went to school with my baby sister. And my baby sister is 10 years younger than me. So imagine that. So I never was in a competition. I never thought there was any threat. Because A, she was 10 years younger than me. And B, she looked like where she came from. No shade, no tea. But a man don't care where it come from. That was proven to me. I was around 25, 26 to give y'all a timeline. She was around probably 15, maybe 16. Okay? When my sister came over, she came too sometimes. She would come over, walk over. Now this young lady, my sister didn't stay with me. My mom would drop her off at the house and she'll stay all day, or I'll go pick her up because that's my baby sister. My baby sister will walk over there and, chill with her, and they will walk back and come over to my house, right? So that's how that went. Not all the time, but I knew who she was. I take them both out to eat. If I had to run somewhere, I'll take them. If I was going shopping, I would take them to get them out the house. I was showing love. I was showing structure. I was showing peace. But I never thought in a million years that same girl I helped would grow up and break my home up. Now, I'm not giving her all of that because it takes me and him, but she was the catalyst of it all. Sounds familiar? Sounds like a little bit like, Akira in that situation does. I was feeding somebody who would later eat all of my vittles off of my plate. She wanted to be me. She wanted to be the wife. She wanted everything that I had, including him. And in the end, she got him because I gave him to her. Sounds familiar? I know. So, y'all, Spirit started whispering so loud. Late nights, he wouldn't come home. The phone started flipping over. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll be right back. That took hours. Now, I don't think he was really with her at that time, but he was doing the things that they do when they're selling. You got to be careful. If you're not ready for that life, don't even get in that lifestyle. Because I'm telling you right now, that's where the demons are, the devils are. And they come, okay? One night, I remember her coming to the house. She was acting kind of strange. She said she was looking for my sister. Now, you knew my sister wasn't over there. But I never knew why she really came to the house until I let her in. Being nice, being cordial. The energy changed instantly. I think she knew that he was in the house. This is before we got married. Her eyes said everything. He walked in. He kissed. He he was already there. She walked in. He was kissing me more than normal, and she was staring like awkwardly, weirdo like. She was just staring. And I was like, oh, puppy love. I'm thinking she is like wanting what we have. And the whole time she was wanting him. Sounds familiar? So that night I told myself, something about that girl just don't sit right with my spirit. But I couldn't put my finger on it, never knowing that my ex-husband it was starting at that time, something going on with this young lady. Let's fast forward. So we forwarding to probably about a year or two later, he ended up going to jail, going to prison for 5 years. Yeah, that lifestyle. And baby, I did that time too. I did that time with him. Every other weekend, driving back and forth, working, visiting him, writing them stupid ass letters that was redundant in life, staying loyal to him. Fast forward, he got out, we got married, thought it was a clean slate, but she was still there. Come to find out, she was going to the jail when he first got locked up, visiting him. Yeah. That's when I believe the full affair started, full on. She called every early in the morning. Now, this is after we got married. We married now, just like I said. She called early in the morning, say he was with her, taunting me, trying to shake me, being evil, diabolical. You say, Lady V, you went through that? Did. Sounds familiar? I keep saying that because I want y'all to understand that I understand what Akira is going through, the pain and heaviness that is. It's a lot. It's a lot. And still you're not really seeing what's going on, but you know something's going on in your feminine intuition, that divine system that we have. You know something's wrong, but you can't put your hand on it. Dad. So, I'm going to tell y'all about the ring. This is one thing that it holds to my mind. Out of all the things that happened between me and him. So, when we got married, I got him a 5-diamond band that we found. It was about 14 karat gold. It was heavy. It had 5 diamonds in it. And this heifer called me. Well, he had told me he lost the ring. He told me he lost the ring. Something he swore he'd never take off. Now, when he did lose the ring, I thought maybe it fell off because he had lost a lot of weight. Come to find out, she called me. And the heifer told me that she made him take it off when he was with her, and that a crackhead stole the ring out of the car. She told me. And I sat there thinking, interesting, right? I couldn't say shit. I was always the type of woman where I would never get mad at that person. I have no fucking relationship or energy with you. Who I was mad at was the correct person, which was the husband. And sometimes we misplace the anger. Y'all, they cut my grass. We misplace the anger with the other woman. But sometimes too, just like Akira's situation with Brene, they come to do that. It's not like she didn't know who the fuck I was. It's not like she didn't know that we hadn't got married. It's not like that she never knew about me. You knew the whole time. Sounds familiar? And all that time, I thought that it was lost. I thought the ring was lost and it was really stolen. And he lied to me. Spirit said, no, baby, that's revelation. Now, we done got revelation in the marriage. We done got that divine system feeling in the beginning. Now we got revelation because she's bringing me the energy. She's telling me exactly what happened. Let's talk about something else. So I want y'all to, I'm building this story for y'all to understand. I understand this pain. I just got a work bonus, y'all. I just got a bonus. His car had recently broken down. So, as being his wife, I helped. Why? Because I knew he needed a car to get back and forth to work. And I put $1,000 down and got him a car of my money that I worked for. Not a new car. No, no ma'am, no sir. He didn't really want that car, but he knew that we had to get to where point A to point B. I had my own car. He needed a car. So I put the money down and got the car. Now, mind y'all, I want y'all to understand, that was a man that paid bills. I ain't never been with a man but one time that didn't take care of me financially. He did that part. It was the cheating, and I chose to put the money down because he did what he's supposed to do, except for the cheating. And this is where I draw the line and I say, a lot of it is my fault as well, because I felt secure financially, but a lot of this was my fault as well. A week later, after getting this car, probably a week or two later, the phone rings. It's him. Baby, I got in a wreck. Oh, God. So I'm thinking, oh, Lord, are you okay? He's totally fine. They let me go. Or what? Why would they? Okay, so, sometimes they let you go and you just go through your insurance. That's how I thought it was. He came home. Now, mind y'all, I stayed about an hour away from where he did his work. You understand what I'm saying? So he came home. He pulled up. I came outside. Y'all, the car had not nary dent in it. Not a dent, not a scratch. But every window was busted out of that car. I kept drilling him because I was like, who the fool do you think I am? Do you really think I'm that damn crazy? Can you just tell me the truth so I can get on with my life? I didn't never think that he was going to say that. I thought he was going to say something else. He finally admitted she did it. She was mad. She was breaking glass, trying to hurt him. And she was mad because I got him a car. And he may have been taunting her, oh, my wife did this, I don't know. But she busted all the windows out of a car that I had just got for him. My money. So I chose not to press charges. And I'm going to tell you why. My husband had just got out of prison. He was already a huge name in the area that we live in. So Spirit had already said, it's bypassed messy now, it's getting dangerous. That's another thing that Spirit kept showing me. She got dangerous. Another story to help y'all out. She called the house one day while we was home together. He was in the kitchen cleaning up. I'll never forget it. The phone ringing. I answered the phone. I said, hello? She said, I know he there. Let me speak to him. Now, any other time I would have cussed the bitch all the way out. And probably would have got in my car to find her. But something said in my spirit, give him the phone. And I did. I walked over to him. And I remember saying, the phone for you. And I listened to the conversation. I stood there. I just listened to him go back and forth with her in my house. In front of me. I stood there, y'all. My God. The disrespect, bitch. I stood there and there was nothing I could do. I was tired of fighting. I was tired of pleading. I was tired of begging. 5 years of loving him, crying, again begging. And I'm watching a man argue with his mistress in front of his wife. Y'all would never understand that unless you've been in that. I was so confused. I was losing it. I was getting fatter. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? The last straw came in town. She pulled up with people. Her energy was real wild. She jumped in front trying to fight me, and he jumped in the middle trying to protect me. She threw a bottle, y'all, and the glass shard cut my hand, cut my finger, and my finger started leaking blood, dripping blood on the ground. Imagine that scene. And I looked down and I looked at him. His head was towards me. He was in front of her and I was behind him. So I was looking at the back of his head. And I thought to myself, bitch, you brought this chaos into my life. And after that, y'all, everything unraveled. He said he loved me. He said she was ratchet. She was ghetto. So he was telling me shit about her. And I'm the wife. That he can't get rid of her. He did mess around with her, but it ain't nothing like that. But it was never clean cut. He never cut it off. I waited on him to cut it off. Imagine that. Making yourself a fucking option. Can you imagine being made to feel like you're not even the wife? While the mistress is mad because you're married to him. Well, yes, that was me. That was me, y'all. That was me. The same look as when Brene acts like she gives no fucks about what's going on in them kids. That is how the girl was with me. She wanted my husband, no matter the pain, no matter the consequences, no matter the fight, the battle, nothing. That's how bad she seen herself and me out of the way. She needed me out of the way. So I remember one night too, y'all, he took me to the church we got married at. It's a dark country road. It's our home church. And the only light on that road is the street lamp and probably the light on the building of the church. He parked. He opened my door. He took my hand. He pulled me out of the car. And I stood up because I'm wondering why we are here. And it was about 11, 12 o'clock at night, y'all, in the middle of night. He looked me in my eyes and he apologized. He said he was done with her. He said he never hurt me again. He promised me to start over. And in the back of my mind, I said, he a hoe and he gonna always be a hoe. But my heart loved him so much that I wanted him to just be right for me. And for a moment, y'all, I believed him. But a few days later, I found that motherfucker right back over her house. And that's when I knew this motherfucker wasn't confused. He was comfortable with treating me this way. I spent my 20s and damn near all my 30s loving that man. That night I said enough. I gave him to her. I gave him to her. I had had enough. It hurt, but spirit was ready to rebuild me. And not to mention, she had a relationship with his mama. I was over there being perfect. The perfect daughter-in-law. Helping, sitting, talking like family. Whole time she knew that her son was running through me like water. The mistress would come over there, they were vibing, and instead of checking her son, being a good, doing the right thing as a mother, his mama was staying out of it, allowing him to run through me like water. No, ma'am. That's not how that's done. That's when I realized I wasn't just fighting for a man anymore. I was surrounded by people comfortable with disrespecting me. When you see that, the fight is over. I'm tired. I got tired. Spirit said enough is enough. You getting fat. You getting all out of control. You got to take your power back. And I did. Sometimes it ain't the man. It's the whole environment that's sick. I gave everything. Time, loyalty, forgiveness, and I still ended up bleeding from other people's choices. That day I said, I can't do this no more. I released him. I released it. I released the pain. I released the house. I released the energy. Peace will cost you people, but chaos will cost you yourself. Do you hear me? Now that's true. So, but being a wife doesn't mean losing your worth to keep that title. I did that. Love without respect is going to be boundaries not given. It's going to be bondage, not blessings, y'all, at all. I don't give a damn who you is. Forgiveness is not about letting them back in. It's letting yourself breathe again. I kept letting him back in over and over again, wishing that he would change. And I lost years doing that shit. That season broke me down and it built me back wiser, stronger, unshakable. I don't deal in grief. I don't deal in addiction or mental illness, y'all. That's for therapists. I deal in healing energy and taking your power back and working the word to help a broken heart and to heal it. So when spirit pulls you out, your job ain't to stay bitter. It's to teach others how to come home to themselves. That's the work I'm called to. Now let me be real too, y'all. It took years. This part took years. I was still in love. I was still holding on. I was still praying over what God had already closed. I was praying. I even got into another relationship while still being married to this diabolical energy. Because when you hurt and won't heal, you always try to fill what's empty instead of fixing what's broken. Don't we? I know we do. God will never send you the right man for you while you're still tied to that wrong energy. So if you're thinking, hey, I don't need to get a divorce, you should. Go on, Akira. You got to close it completely. No halfway, not just talking. You got to seal it and hand it to spirit. I kept cycling through it. Cry, forgive, start over. Cry, forgive, start over. Cry, forgive, start over. Cry, forgive, start over. Till I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself anymore. I was big, out of control. Girl, bye. That's when I said no more. I've given you enough. I paid for my divorce myself. I filed it, I funded it, and I finalized it. I did it myself. This boy was shocked that I even filed for a divorce. But that's what happens when you stop begging for peace and start becoming it. Y'all, love almost turned to hate before it healed itself for me. But spirit rebuilt me. And I realized it was never about losing him. It was about finding me. So if you're in that same storm, hear me. You're not crazy for loving. You're not weak for trying. But don't die on the same hill that already buried your peace. Stop playing. If you need help coming or climbing out of that situation, book a conversation with me. Let me mentor you through it. I've been there. Let me mentor you through it. Because I've really and truly been there for years. I sat in it for years, and you don't have to stay there. You choosing to. Healing ain't pretty and it's never fast, y'all, but it's possible. It's like peeling back an onion. You got to peel back all those layers of pain. Love, pain, guilt, what ifs, all of it. I did that alone, and you don't have to. When you let spirit lead, healing isn't just possible, it's promised. When that peace finally hits you, when that weight lifts up off of your spirit, when you wake up and realize you're not surviving, you're living, you'll thank yourself for finally choosing you. And this is just a small part of my story, just a small piece of my journey. But again, this is me being real. It's real, unfiltered, unmasked. And finally, I'm free. That's the word, y'all. That's the word. That's the way back home. It ain't nothing else going to get you that. And I pray that Akira wins. I pray that she wins. I pray not even monetarily, but she wins the battle spiritually, because that girl came up in her home and her mindset was studied on that man. And it's sad looking at how it's playing out. I kind of like stayed out of it, but looking at now, what we know now and the stuff that's coming out in the court, if I was her mom, I'd be so embarrassed that your daughter is doing that. Your daughter messed around with that man in that lady house and told that baby, from what we allegedly, to come and give her some wipes so she can wipe herself. Y'all heard that? Diabolical. Diabolical. And I noticed too that the sister is not really there, but the sister messed around with him too, allegedly. Come on now. But Akira, if you are watching me, baby, you are not the only one. I am in North Carolina as well, y'all. Alienation of affection is a real thing. And I looked into it myself when it happened to me. But I chose not to do it because she had nothing. She had nothing. But Brene makes good money on YouTube. On her platform, I'm understanding about $10,000 a month. Get your money, baby. Battle it. Burn her ass to the rubber. Because she should have left him alone. And it was so many different ways, even if her and Devin did break up. Why did you go after Tim? And that was your close friend. It's sad. It's downtrodden. And I'm not judging her. I'm judging the situation. Because if she did that, which is saying in the court of law that she did, it's on the stand that she did those things, you deserve everything that you're getting, sweetie. And more. You're going to have to pay for that. But y'all, it happened to me. That's my story. Just a little bit of my story. It's more to it than that. And whenever I decide to come and bring it to y'all, I will. I love to talk about this, to heal people, and book a session. Visionsbyvasori.com. Y'all know I'm Lady Vasori. If you ate from the plate, then send a super chat. It is greatly appreciated. And y'all, stay woke. Don't allow nobody to drain you dry. Period. Y'all have an amazing day. Love y'all. Bye.